Since President Biden's debate with Donald Trump last month, 9 Democratic lawmakers have called on him to step aside. With us now is one of those lawmakers, Massachusetts Congressman Seth Moulton. Congressman, thank you for being with us this morning. I know that you just got out of that meeting, that first full caucus meeting since the debate. What was it like?
I tell you, it was a really healthy debate. It's exactly what Americans should expect out of a political party. Listening to the concerns of our constituents, of voters, debating them in having a really good family discussion about the way forward. I thought it was thoughtful, informative, and very respectful. So it was a good meeting.
Anything come out of it?
Well, I think a lot of people are looking for a consensus. There's no consensus right now. There were a lot of members who expressed concerns, gave voice to those concerns. There were members who expressed concerns about making a switch and what that would entail. I'm not going to discuss any of the details of the meeting because it was a private meeting, and I think we need to be respectful of other members' views. But suffice it to say, a lot of people are having these discussions in private, even though there's just a few of us who have gone public with our concerns.
Yeah, and why is it that you decided to go public with it? Why are you calling for the president to step aside?
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, it was a difficult decision. I've known the vice president for a long time. In fact, he was the first major politician to come up and support me, to actually campaign for me after a contentious primary in my first run for Congress. I've spent time having breakfast at his house when he was the vice president. I have a lot of love and respect for Joe Biden and for the incredible things he's done for our country. So I spent the first part of the week after the debate trying to have private conversations, reaching out to members of his inner circle, talking to folks in the White House and expressing my sincere concerns about his continuing in the race. But after those discussions didn't go anywhere, I decided it was time to go public and to share many of the concerns that so many constituents of mine have, because we understand the stakes. I know the president gets this too, but the stakes are so high in this race. We have to defeat Donald Trump. And when the polls are bad and getting worse, you can't just double down on a strategy. You need to have a change in strategy because we need to win. This is about defeating Donald Trump. That's the end of the game.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting to hear you talk about President Biden and when he was vice president, how he, came out to support you. Maybe the odds of you winning at the time weren't as great as they were later, but certainly Joe Biden's assistance was fundamental for your victory. I'm just wondering, are you basing this all on 90 minutes of a debate?
No, I mean, that's a fair question. I've had the opportunity to spend time with the president over the past couple years, and I've been concerned about this for a while. So I'm not just basing it on 90 minutes rather. I also have to say that what we've asked the president to demonstrate is that he's willing to change his strategy. He's willing to do things differently because obviously the current course isn't working. Not only is he behind in key states, but those polls are getting worse. We've asked for that, and we haven't seen it from the White House or the campaign. We haven't seen a new plan, a new strategy. We haven't seen him campaigning substantially more vigorously to not just do, where he's not just keep it up, but to actually claw back the lead that he's lost.
So, because it's interesting, so you say that you have seen, not just in those 90 minutes, but in other opportunities where you have been with him face to face. What is it that you have seen in those moments?
Look, I think I've seen the same thing that other Americans and other Democrats have seen, that he is a remarkable leader, someone who's unbelievably dedicated to the country. But like all of us, as we get older, he's not the same man that he was 4 years ago. And the question, of course, is this someone who can go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, who can claw back the lead that he's lost to ensure that we win this election? Because so much is at stake here. So much is at stake. We're running against a convicted criminal, someone who incited a mob to attack the Capitol, where I'm standing right now, something that's never happened before in American history. And you would think, when you're running against someone like that, someone that so many Republicans have problems with in Donald Trump, you would think that he would be way ahead. I mean, this should be easy. We should be cleaning up. And yet, actually, in the key polls, President Biden is behind. this is all about winning at the end of the day. We've got to have a strategy to win because so much is at stake.
Congressman Seth Moulton, I thank you very much for being with us. Let's continue our conversation going forward. Appreciate it.
Okay, good to see you.
Hey there, MSNBC fans. I'm Luke Russert, and be sure to join me, Rachel Maddow, Jen Psaki, Lawrence O'Donnell, Steve Kornacki, Joy Reid, and many more September 7th in Brooklyn, MSNBC Live Democracy 2024. Click on the link for ticket information. We will see you there.